What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the cast. Tonight's going to be a little different. We're sitting here on a Skype call between me and Nathan, trying out something new. I think we're going to talk about just some things that some people might not know about Nathan, and involved
Oh,
in.
you want to know about Nathan, do you?
I
Well,
guess we
we can
want to
tell
know
you a little
about
bit
Nathan.
about Nathan, I guess. I'm just sitting here. I'm sorry to chime in like that. I'm just trying out the new microphone. I got a random audio camera going on my phone. I didn't have a chance to get a fancy webcam like you do. I'm not up on the times, but I'm sitting here playing PGA Tour. So
Yeah,
I
got that at
think we
Walmart.
discussed. Yeah, Walmart. Yeah. Greg Walmart's great, eh? King of everything during this pandemic. I was just
Shut
sitting
down
here playing some
Superstore.
PGA 2021 on the PlayStation and having a Bud Light.
Yes, sir. So obviously it's been a rough week for you and me, I guess, considering I'm living with you now. Just came out of isolation, or what? You coming out of your last day here now?
Yeah, I've come down with that, what they call the COVID-19, I guess. So I had to come down with that, I guess, near the end of her. Well, I guess we're going to live with her for a bit. So, yeah,
So
I don't know where it come from, where it contracted from, but, now we're down here where we live in New Brunswick. It's only 5 day isolation. So
yeah,
I've been locked down in Nate's Tavern for a little bit.
yes,
And
sir.
had lots of time to work on a podcast. So obviously, recently we were able to film one with media personnel, Matt Buckley. So if you haven't checked that one out, maybe you want to give that a chance to go for sure.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was a good one. That was fun. I
that's
really
a great
liked that
one.
one.
I do like
Well,
this physical interaction stuff. So
yeah, I loved how it, and I loved how it turned out too. I was able to edit the video clips and stuff like that. We're trying. I feel like aside from when we first started, though, Nate, and having the oh, excuse me, having the video and the audio wave, that was just something that was there to start us out. I'm not sure we are going to get into video and whatnot. And now that we're kind of opening up to that world and experiencing it, I'm actually starting to really enjoy the editing side of thing, right? And I know you are too, because we haven't stopped doing stuff for this show for the last 2 days, because we've been working hard and we got
yeah, I
you
mean
know
yourself, you've been a bit of freak on the editing side, but that's fine. I mean, it's become a hobby and it's been fun. A lot of great feedback and we're looking forward to getting more guests on. And if you haven't checked us out, we're on Spotify now. We have 3 uploaded episodes. Our second one that we threw up. Oh, excuse me. Second episode was a big one, but the audio didn't come out as clear as it could have, so we kind of scrapped that one off Spotify. But you can listen to 3 of our episodes up there now, and most of our guests will be up on there, and we'll try to edit what we can. We may put this one up there too because people want to hear where they can that are preferred. So
no, exactly. And it makes it a little more convenient being on Spotify. To be honest with you, when you linked that up last night, I was actually super excited because out of all the applications in the world, Spotify is my number one thing that I use. It's first thing that turns on in my car. I don't have a iPhone, so I don't got Apple Play, but in my car, in my Nissan, we got kind of similar. So, like, Spotify automatically loads up. And it's kind of funny because I was heading to work there the other day, and the minute or the as soon as we got done recording the burger challenge episode, um,
yeah,
I turned my
I
car on.
really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, me
Enjoyed that
too.
one. Yeah.
And that challenge was fun too. But anyways, as soon as I did that, that's the first thing that turned on in my car. It was kind of neat,
Yeah,
hear
that's
yourself
the best
and
thing
you know,
with the Spotify is everything kind of replays or plays through, and you can get direct notifications. If, of
oh,
course,
excuse me.
if you're a subscriber to our YouTube channel, you're going to see content come through there too. But I find YouTube it's a struggle for creators because there's so much going out onto the YouTube algorithm. So we just want to try to pump out videos best we can for you and do what we
Yeah.
can. So
Exactly. And you know what? I feel like we have that loyal fan base built right now. And I thank you guys for listening. Our first video hit easily. I think it's at 480 now, so it's almost at 500 views. Our second one, it's up there. Our third one is up there. And this most recent one, we just uploaded the Buckley episode the other day, and in one day that hit 100 views. So that means 100 people have listened to that, and all 100 of you, if you're listening right now, it's amazing. And me and Nate just love you, and it feels great.
uh, oh, and we don't care if you're gonna take 50 seconds out of our whole 30-minute video if it's if it's a full 30 minutes. Any subscription, any share is great, and our goal with this thing is to try to continue to give you something to listen to along your ride in your car, along your journeys, and hopefully, again, we can promote some businesses and things like that. I mean, I was a big thing with the Vegas one. Alongside from that whole challenge video was to be able to talk a little bit about a local company that's been helpful to us too in the community. Even with the ball hockey, and that's another thing that Nick wanted to kind of chat up a little bit here. So
we'll get to that again. We're just so grateful, and we appreciate you guys for doing all this. Because essentially, we can do it for ourselves, but if you guys aren't coming on and listening to us or giving us feedback, we'll never know how we're doing. And excuse me, I believe that the feedback's been really good. If you don't like us, at least you clicked on our video and you gave us a view or two. And we still appreciate you for that, because haters gonna hate, right? But so let's just hop right into this. We don't want to get this too long. We're already at 9 minutes here.
Man, we can chat as long as you want, man. We're again, man. Obviously, people are listening to us and they like what we have to say. So exactly. Give me a topic. Let's run with it here, man.
Well, yeah, man, besides the fact you just got out of isolation, you're able to get out of the house this week. It looks like both of us got shacked up and locked up there for a bit. I just did 5. I'm doing 5 days now. You did 5 days. And it looks like we're going to be able to get down to our plans there for Friday night, where we plan on heading down to Halifax there to go.
We're gonna go down and check out a National Lacrosse League game, the NLL Thunderbirds down there in Halifax. So that should be interesting. I've never really had a chance to even really watch lacrosse. I watched it on TV, but locally there wasn't much around. But now there seems to be more coming around. So
yeah, it's the sport's intense. You got the hits, the cross checks. It reminds me of ball hockey in a sense, because there's a lot of stick work in that game too. But I'm just super excited to get down there and see the Thunderbirds play. And just we can't be there for too long, but I haven't been down to the Fax in a while, so it'd be nice to just check out the city, hit a restaurant or two.
These last 2 years have been tough to go anywhere, so it'll be nice to get down. Things start open. Halifax and Nova Scotia is actually, has been a little slow if they're opening up, but
it
is what it is. They're coming along the way. I believe that we're going to have 5,000 fans in the barn there when we go down there to watch them play, and I think that the team's been pretty supportive. I think they launched in 2020, just before the pandemic. They only got about 5 games in an expansion year, so.
And their record's pretty good right now too, isn't it? What's their record?
They're 7 and what is this? I think they beat Vancouver, so I think they're 7, maybe 8-1 on the season. And when they first come in to their 2020 year with their expansion year, they were actually pretty good. I think credit it. They have one of the best face-off guys in the league right now. I can't recall his name, but they do have a goaltender, Warren Hill, who's been lights out when they need him too. And I guess both goaltenders have been rotating back and forth. So
that's nice, man. Especially to be able to, it's only a 4-hour drive for us to head down there. You can do some shopping and get to check out,
absolutely
sports, we love,
shopping. I think there's a plan to stop into IKEA. You said you never been there, and I don't want to spend too much time there. The place is massive down there. So
no, I've never been in there, but it's a home place. I'd like to grab some stuff for my new apartment when I get it there, when I eventually move out of your basement.
Move out of the basement, yeah. No, it's a big place, man. It is. They got 2 fucking. Sorry, excuse my language. 2 food courts there.
Insert beeping noise.
Yeah, I shouldn't swear on the air, guys. I don't know who's going to be listening to this. So,
but just make sure this one doesn't upload as 4 kids.
Yeah, maybe they'll flag us for that one. But my apologies, YouTube, and my apologies, Spotify. But you got to get them Swedish meatballs while you're down there.
Swedish meatballs? What do you mean?
IKEA, man. They got two. They got
a food court in there.
They got 2 food courts in there. They got one to go and one you can actually sit down and get meals. No, I didn't find the meatballs that good, honestly. Yeah, I think I had some meatball and rice when I got down there. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But another thing we want to stop in down there is they have a pro hockey life store down there. So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing. I love that place, man. It's funny because I talk about that store a lot, and a lot of people don't actually know like what that store is.
Yeah, it's essentially it's just a big market sports check in a way. It is not sports check, I don't believe. It might be owned by Canadian Tire or something like that, a similar company, but it's just a massive. There you got gear, place to test sticks and stuff like that. So I know you want to go down for. What do you say you want to go down and check out when you're there?
I just might go see what they got for hockey cards. I've been like a fiend for that lately, man. I've been collecting pretty good with that. I want to get a big binder full eventually, you know. And they are worth some money too. Eventually, like you know, you get into the hockey card trading and stuff like that.
Oh,
I'm sure
just
there's a lot
golfing
of.
across the river.
Did
Sorry
you
to
get
cut
into
you
the
off.
water?
No, in the sand bunker. So
Oh,
yeah,
good man.
no,
Yeah.
it'll be a good trip for sure.
No,
It'll
I'm
be
looking
nice to get
forward to
down
that.
there and you know, like I said, you know, to be able to watch another professional team. We've been able to go check out some
Been to a
professional
few
sport
games.
and games
Yeah.
before.
Been to
Uh,
what?
Canadian
CF.
Football League,
Yeah.
CFL, yeah, has been a thing where we've been able to get
Been to two
to.
of those games.
Yeah, Touchdown Atlantic once there in Moncton, which was pretty cool. That was on
Yeah.
national television as well. And we've gone up when we're in Montreal to go to Montreal's actual barn, which was neat. So,
Just something to add to the list, right? You know, I'm still waiting to go to an NHL game. That's gonna happen. You know, we're gonna be hitting that eventually. Me and you, Nate. I can see it. But yeah, no.
I would like to see a Leafs game. You know, if you haven't known that about both of us, we're Leafs fans. But again, the only issue with that is the Leafs games are awful expensive, from what I hear. If you want to go to the actual Scotiabank Arena, so where my question to you, where would you think about going to see an NHL game someday? Aside from Toronto, if you had to, maybe
Oh,
aside from Montreal. I mean, those are
I would
two
love to
classic ones.
go,
But
man. I would love to go to Toronto just to see our uncle. You know, that'd be nice. But I know that is pricey. If we could swing it, that'd be cool because then he could show us around town and stuff. I'm sure he'd love to do that.
yeah,
But
shout out to Uncle Dan if you're listening.
yeah.
How's it going? Hope all is well.
Yeah.
So
But no, like I think, you know, closely if we're trying to think budget wise to get to one, maybe Montreal. You can get to Boston if you have your passport. You can hop the border and get there in like 6 hours. So you know what I
oh,
mean? Like, yeah,
Beantown, eh? I hear that's pretty hostile barn. And speaking
I'd
of hostile
say.
barns, I don't mean to go off topic here, but I just was watching a video surfacing around, going around. I believe it was in San Jose of a scrap going on in San Jose. Did you see that one going on the internet?
Yeah,
With a
man, I
bunch of
seen
fans
that.
getting into her.
And let's talk about that because I don't understand. Like, I am a huge like sports fan and hockey fan, and you are too, Nathan. But like, I don't understand like the concept, especially when these things. Maybe these people live in the town. I don't know. Like, you know, like it's hard to say because when a video gets posted to social media, you only see half the video and how it started. But my guess is that they're probably under the influence of something. You know, mostly alcohol, and
Mostly alcohol. You think mostly alcohol? Yeah, we'll stick with that for sure.
stick with that for now. But you know what I mean? Like, and they're going in there and they're having a good time for the first little bit. They're probably saucing back, you know, like 12, 13, 14 beers. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, it's nothing like
I
you see
don't
in the
know. I don't know the
MLB,
beer
but
prices.
no,
As I
me
say,
either. I know.
I don't know the beer prices in San Jose, but they must be pretty
Well,
good up
listen,
there.
I know. So I'm saying I went to NBA game to see the San Antonio Spurs play the Sacramento Kings, and that was in San Antonio. Um, and for a beer, it was $14. And that's
Wow.
crazy, man. So you know you got to think
Like a
that
tall boy or something like that.
no, just a regular old Bud Light can like we got here. You know, they
Wow.
can do that. I know it's insane. But back to that topic about the fights, man. I just don't understand. You know, when I'm a Leafs fan, I'm going. I've never been to the game, even if I've been to 4 or 5. I'm still gonna treat it like I've never been to a game, right? And for me personally, I think that like uh, going and the atmosphere being there is just it's a high itself. So it's like I'm not gonna sit there and fight someone after I paid what to $100.
agree.
Some people got $200 for tickets to go and start a ruckus and get kicked out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you see that often. You do see it often. Fans videos going surfacing, and sometimes these guys do deserve it. Who are on the opposite end, because there are some real pricks. I don't know what ego they have above them, but it's sports, man. I mean, you're gonna see. You're gonna at the end of the day, wins or losses, they're gonna happen, right? So it's you're there for the good time, and you're there for a good long. You're there for a good time, not a long time. I think I said that correctly. So
we're here for a good time, not a long time. No, anyways, Nathan, that's insane though. Like I seen that video and I just shook my head. But you see that quite often, especially during playoff time too. I find, and they are usually the United States teams, not the Canadian teams, by the way, because in Canada, we say sorry a lot.
I know, like when you mentioned Boston, it happens in Boston down there quite a bit, and Beantown's pretty crazy down there. So they're, it does happen quite often in the States. I don't know how often you see it in Canada, but I'm not saying it does not happen in Canada. It most certainly can happen in Canada. So.
Oh yeah, I guess we couldn't write that off, man. It's gonna happen no matter. There's gonna be idiots no matter where you are, right? Like, but in Boston,
I mean, if you want to scrap, go. Don't even go to a sporting event. Go join UFC. Go join boxing. Like, get your frustrations out of there somehow. But keep it out of the arenas. Keep it out of the ballparks. Keep it out of the friggin'
and respect the
keep it out of NASCAR. Keep it out of
NASCAR.
I've seen it in NASCAR, man. I mean, like,
how many times have we hit the racetrack and see a full blown fist here in New Brunswick? Fist fight.
I get it. You're getting tired of getting bumped around the track and stuff like that, but like. There's just no need to see a flying helmet come across and split someone open, So that's just another whole thing that I just don't get.
I hear these stories too, and I think you were telling me because we went to that local race. I don't know how it is in NASCAR, but we went to that local race this summer. You're saying boys were cutting brake lines and shit or something, or doing something stupid like that.
Yeah, they get pretty greasy, man. From what I hear, they that is there. For if we go, anyone that doesn't know, there is a local track here, and I'm not gonna mention the name of the local track. I'm sure you guys know it in New Brunswick. I'm not trying to put an image on a local track, but you do get some guys who are a little jazzed up and pissed off because they got cut off the wrong way, or they took the corner, or something happened, and they're in the pits and they're fighting. So that's that to me is excuse me. It's not meant for the sport of racing, let alone seeing fans do it in the crowds at hockey games or football games or wherever,
And did you get any on you, Nate?
Oh, sorry, guys, I'm burping quite a bit. I am drinking that Bud Light, but it's nice and fresh. But I just don't see any need to it. I just think especially now you a lot of times these events, they're family portrayed events, and little Jimmy or Timmy at the game don't want to see fighting, So I mean, if they do, they hopefully they see it in the game, and hopefully they're turned on by that. My video just cut out on me, so that's fine.
So we still got a little something.
So yeah, but anyways, I just don't like to see it, honestly. So
and I also don't like, respect the fact that there's an out of town fan in your building. Respect that they came all that way, or they're there to support another team and support their team. Don't go and hate on them for that, But all things aside, Nathan, like it's just about enjoying the game, really, and going and having a good time.
I remember there was one year, I guess Tampa Bay or something, and I don't know if it was playing Montreal or whatever they were doing, but he's in the playoffs. Or, one of the rinks, the poor fan come in there and with a different jersey on. The rinks made it a rule that they just didn't want them to have out of town jerseys on. Maybe that's because potentially one of the more hostile arenas that sees fights with, but like again, if somebody, I hope to God they don't try to jump me with an 018 jersey because I'm gonna go butt crazy on. I'm gonna,
I don't think they'll jump you, buddy. I think you'll make out all right. You're a pretty big guy.
Oh, for sure.
Anyways, let's just shift a little talk here from. I don't know how this episode's gonna go because Nate's video just cut out, guys. But I'm gonna try to make a little edit for it, anyways. It's not a big deal. We're just here talking, anyways. At least we'll have that audio. Yeah, let's take a little shift,
Hey,
Nathan.
you can't see video on Spotify, so we're gonna,
That's true.
like you said, we'll just do whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Exactly. Well, let's take a little shift, Nathan, from this talk about irate fans and stuff like that, and let's talk a little bit about you. So Nathan,
Alrighty,
are
I
you
guess we
ready for
can talk
this?
about me.
Yeah. So
Sure.
I essentially just want to interview you. I already know this, but a lot of people might not know this. So Nathan is and has always been participant, and we always talk about the ball hockey because we play ball hockey. We play ball hockey for I think this be our 11th year coming up, is it, Nathan? Something like that.
Oh, we're hit. I don't. I think we're. We
We're
played a
up
lot
there.
longer,
We played a lot
than
longer,
11 years.
but in this league
But
particular,
in this particular league, probably hitting around 10, closer to that. Yeah,
yeah. So, and with this league,
consistently too, which is
consistently,
nice.
we
So
haven't stopped. So, yeah. So, no, essentially, just there's some things you might not know about Nathan involved in that sport, and why I think we're so close to it is for years, Nathan, you've actually run teams.
yeah, I've and that goes back again to ball hockey's been a community sport. Grew up in the south end of St. John. Took time playing at the Boys and Girls Club, where they would host numerous tournaments through March break tournaments. Back again when I talk about the South End Community Center is where me and you played most of our hockey. And I think 5 days a week we'd attend the community center, and there what excuse me, 5 days a week there was guaranteed to be a ball hockey game going on there. So it began in the streets, and I took my passion towards trying to get in the rink and playing there. So I did enjoy doing that. So I mean, of course, goes without saying that you have to have a place to play, and I was lucky to be able to link up and find some open opportunities to do so within the St. John Metro League. And now I think I played, like you said, 10 or 11 years. For 6 of those years, I was able to put together teams, numerous teams. The Gators, last year, we come off just trying to do a local project on my own, an expansion team, Plains Projects. And previous teams before that were just 1 year goes as well. But I think we started playing a sport at the age of 19. But in the rink itself. So,
well, the Gators too, like that was a 3 year go. And I believe when we first started out, we played for a couple teams too, but when you first started actually being a general manager or whatever, running the team, you may as well call yourself that.
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, it's some experience in a sense. So yeah, I guess you can call it that. I give due respect to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, man, you go ahead. I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, I give respect to the guys who run teams, and I certainly would most certainly call them general managers because they put a lot of effort into the team. And I think running a team is it's a year-round gig. It's not just the three months of the year that you're putting effort in. So.
No, exactly. And I definitely noticed that being around you growing up and being on the teams that you've put on the floor and being a part and seeing you on your phone, constantly texting guys to see if they're going to show up to the rink or if they're going to pay, or writing receipts, or, am I going to get enough money for the league fees? Am I going to get enough money to actually pay the insurance for the year? And you essentially chased a lot of guys, but can you explain the challenge of that and how you kind of overcame that, and I know you paid out of your pocket a lot, and which really sucked, but over the years we did have sponsors.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I was just going to mention that, learning to try to get the community involved in the sport, because ultimately it is a community sport. It's come from the street to the rink, and to see the way the sport's adapted over the last few years since I've been involved in it, to last year, me and you had the opportunity to be involved in the St. John Minor Ball Hockey Association. So that was the first year for that. So we were able to coach that and give back to that. So again, with it being so community driven, having sponsors are a big help. And we've had some big sponsors over the last years that have been able to help us with a number of things, the jerseys and things like that. I think some of the sponsors we had, our Gator year, big thanks to them. Throw it out to them. We had OK Tire on board. We had Glance Clean, as well as John Jarvis at Grand Bay Home Hardware out in Grand Bay. So last year, I tried to throw my own thing in, and we were able to get community more funds together with the McLean's project gigs. Big help out with Jason Tate there as well, who coached us and made our jerseys up for us and helped us throw players together. And just over the years, I guess community sports support is a huge thing of getting, and I think that's just every sport. It's not just the sport of ball hockey itself. It's baseball teams do the same thing, and whatever. So
Yeah, no, and I guess that's the best thing is because without these sports, without these community things to do, it definitely takes not just growing adults, but it gets grown adults out, but it also gets kids out, and it keeps everybody out of trouble, away from the bad stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can not be doing that, or you shouldn't be doing, excuse me. And I think growing up with us, hockey, just in general, because we played both ice and played ball. We played, we even played a lot of sports. We played soccer, we played basketball, we played rugby, football, but all these sports
try to be
kept us
involved in what we can for sure. So
and they all kept us out from going down a bad path and being, the grown men that we are today. I definitely would think that Mom would definitely be looking down and being happy for us, that's for sure. And she definitely raised some good, respectful men. But yeah, no, Nathan, and I guess, aside from that, running teams and stuff, that's what's that? How you got a hole in one?
Playing PGA here.
It's all
got that
good,
running
man.
in the background.
You got it.
But
Did
yeah,
you get it?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying for sure. And there's some great community programs with ourselves that we played minor hockey, but I don't think we would have been able to play minor hockey without the support of a little program there that's been around for a little bit now. I'm not sure how many years, but Pro Kids in St. John, they're a program
I was very thankful for that.
Allows kids to play organized sports. And a lot of times people are lost in the with my microphone. I'm just trying to adjust that. A lot of times people are lost in the politics of the sport and the money and things like that. And myself, I work at a hockey rink now, so I do see the different diversities. But every time you see a group of pickups or a group of kids on the ice, especially the younger kids at the Tim Hortons age, stuff like that, really throws back to memories. Not getting a chance to play that early, but there's so many programs out there now that can help them. So
yeah, and I mentioned Pro Kids, and that was a great program. I always said it, and I'm still saying it to this day. I'm going to give back to them somehow. I don't have much to give right now, but I'm sure, if I can, that's one charity that I'm going to give to, because they definitely molded me by helping me play sports without them realizing, even though I never met anybody through the actual organization, but they helped mold me to the person I am.
Or met the sponsors themselves, right? So,
thank you guys. I don't
for sure.
Anyone from Pro Kids is going to listen to this or not, but just thanks that, me and Nathan appreciated that growing up. Like, we couldn't afford to pay for two people. Like, hockey's expensive. Like, any sport's expensive. I think the most inexpensive sport that we ever played, man, it definitely had to be ball hockey, or it had to be that, or I think maybe volleyball or something. But you know what I mean? Because those things, you only need a ball, or you only need a stick, or a helmet. Right? So
that's right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Lots of sports, lots of things. And I mean, we touched briefly on my running of teams and things like that, and I could go on and on about different things and how much effort it takes to, and you can thank 1,000 people, but it's just great to see that that programs like that, especially with myself and you not coming from a greater area, of the city, or what they would call underprivileged areas of the city, I guess.
Mm.
Having community centers, having programs, small programs, people, ball hockey programs or soccer programs, and not just that, let alone, facilities to support those, like, the YMCA and now we have a field house, and those things weren't around when we were younger, but I'm sure you see them as big investments, but the greater investment is the return on how you make somebody in the future, I guess, in a sense. They're always going to have those memories as a kid.
The memory shit. Yeah.
They're always going to, hockey and any sport, football was one of the most toughest sports I played, with some of the,
Some of the highest coaches,
some of the highest
ranks,
coaches,
man.
but just the camaraderie, the people that are, they tell you, and you wouldn't understand at the time, being a snot-nosed 14, 15-year-old kid, you're gonna benefit from the sport.
Yeah.
It's gonna echo, because, at the end of the day, waking up 6 a.m., going to a hockey practice, or, staying late because you did something wrong, you're not going to run laps or whatever at work. They're just going to discipline you. But I think you mentally can prepare yourself for those situations when you're when you're young, right? So
Yeah, and I definitely think that some of the coaches that we've had and the lessons learned throughout just being physically active in general has molded me mentally, you mentally, to be much, much stronger as adults and deal with what's not such a great life in the world. You grow up, you're younger, you think you want to grow up. I want to grow up. I want to be a adult. I want to have that career. I want to have that job. But sometimes I just wish I could go back to the simple days.
oh, for sure. Sorry, hit my wall. Just trying to sit back down here.
When I come through the other side, right onto my
Yeah.
bed.
No, I think you're right there for sure. That just the friends you meet, the discipline that sports can bestow, I guess, if that's the word you want to, input.
Sounded good to me.
That sounds good to me. Just the brotherhood, whatever. Just what can sports can bring to everyday life, and then the experiences you can draw back on, for sure. So.
Being social too, nowadays, you see a lot of kids, they don't go outside. They're stuck on their television, or they're stuck on their iPads or the Nintendo Switches. And, I was a gamer too, and so were you, but I feel like we used to get out a lot more than kids nowadays. And you find that like parents have to now set like TV screen times, or they have to cut them off and say that's it at 10 or at 7 o'clock, you're to do your homework, or at 4 o'clock, between 4 to 5 is your time to watch television, and because they spend all day, because like they go in their rooms and they spend all day in front of it. I'm guilty, because as of late, working on this show, I've not been away from a computer screen, but I'm an adult and I can make my own decisions, and I know how they're going to affect me. But when you're that young, you don't. And it's just sad, because technology's ruling the world, and it's, as much as it's a good thing, it's a bad thing too. It can be bad.
I agree with you. You talked about the homework situation. I never liked doing homework, but in my mind, as an adult that looks at homework now, I guess I think a guy, especially myself, I was able to go through a college course at NBCC, and take a construction trade, and that was something I liked, and you put a lot of effort into. But kids are not going to want to come home and put another 2 hours when they spend 8 hours, right? Like, I mean, now minds are all over the place, and I guess in a sense you're filled with anxiety, you're filled with different emotions. So yeah, do I agree with coming home and putting yourself to work again for 2 hours, and then like you said, okay, come play for a couple hours and go do your homework. I can't see why. I guess because you're only, you get 6 or 7 classes in the day and you're doing the hours. I just can't imagine now with the pandemic and how things have changed the way to learn. I just don't
Yeah.
agree. And I would, if I was a teacher, I would want to keep my lessons basic and try not to put so much on children nowadays, because the world as a young person is hard enough as it is, and I'm sure the teachers understand that, and I know they have things to get caught up on, and a lot of times they get the homework and stuff like that because they missed a couple days, there's a couple storm days and so on. But I just I would not. I just believe that you don't need to come home and have a massive workload, because when you leave work, you're not doing a massive workload. You're loading up a PlayStation. You're eating supper. You're doing whatever you have to do in a sense. But and
you're looking to leave the world
ballpark
behind or whatever. You're looking to leave that work behind. Like, yeah. Oh, well, no, Nate, essentially, I feel like it's been a really good chat, and I just, like I said, I've really been enjoying doing this, excuse me. And I definitely know that you guys, thank you again, Nathan, thank you for interviewing with me. I mean, this is a little different than sitting next to you and doing a show, but we've been doing so many things as of late that I think we got 3 episodes we recorded this week, like, that are coming out. One with a very special guest that I'm sure is going to have a big draw, hopefully. And
we do get a recording. We get a recording tomorrow night. Whatever you're seeing this upload, it may not be tomorrow night, but we do got a pretty good recording coming up here, and yeah, it's been I don't know. I mean, you put your mind to everything you can, and you try to step aside from it, but we want to fire content out and hope that at the end of the day we're sitting here not in episode 4 but 400. So
I love it.
I guess
Awesome.
I guess in a sense, but
yeah.
you look, guys, I was bring up. I know we're trying to wrap her up here, so we're just we'll keep her kind of nice tight. But I was listening to a couple pods online today, and I don't always listen to Joe Rogan, but I'm sitting there and he's got a 2-hour podcast with Snoop Dogg, and I'm like, wow, like I'm just gassed now talking, but I think I assume that was episode 1700 and something like that, right? So so he does a lot of talking, man, and I'm probably gonna cut back on stop drinking the Bud Lights and maybe get more water into me for sure.
Yeah. No, I get you.
But it's a good chat, bro. It's nice to talk to you again, and appreciate you, I guess, questioning and picking my brain, and
maybe sometime you can pick my brain.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good. So, boys, I always say it, and I'll continue to say it. Please like, share, subscribe, and keep seeing double.
Keep doing your shots and keep seeing double, or taking your shots. You know how it is. Thank you for listening, guys, to this podcast. And again, much love. We'll see you next time.